A US spy plane flew over the Korean peninsula this weekend, apparently upping surveillance activities after North Korea's recent rocket launcher test. Aviation tracker Aircraft Spot says a U-2S reconnaissance plane belonging to the US Air Force was seen on Saturday, flying over the Seoul capital area, Chungcheongdo provinces, and the northern areas of Gangwon-do province, which borders North Korea. The aircraft, dubbed the Dragon Lady, carries out surveillance missions in areas close to the inter-Korean border to monitor military facilities and troop movements in the north.
To news out of Malta now. A top businessman has been charged in the 2017 car bombing that killed a prominent journalist. Our Steve Niles is tracking that story. So, Steve, at this stage, what do we know?
It's a very complicated story, Natasha, one that involves allegations of corruption at the highest level of that country's government, and one that now appears has involved one of the country's most prominent business magnates. That man, his name, Jorgen Fenech, he was arrested earlier this week, and now he has been charged, accused of an involvement in a car bombing that killed a prominent journalist. Fenech has pleaded not guilty to the charges that he is facing in relation to this case. Now, this murder involves a woman. Her name, Daphne Caruana Galizia. She was killed in a car bombing more than 2 years ago. She, among the many of the things that she reported on, was corruption in Malta, corruption and cronyism within the country's political and business elite.
And we have breaking news from the Netherlands, where police say a 35-year-old homeless man is in custody after 3 teenagers were stabbed last night. The attack happening near the center of The Hague, which was packed with Black Friday shoppers at the time. The victims, 2 15-year-old girls and a 13-year-old boy, were treated and released at the hospital. The suspect's identity has not been released, and police do not believe the incident is terror-related.
Some serious headlines. A Fox News alert breaking this morning. Police say at least 10 people have been shot in New Orleans. That happened overnight. It is unclear how serious their injuries are. Police say at least 1 suspect is in custody. It's unclear if they are looking for any other suspects.
Hundreds of protesters gathered outside the Indian police station where 4 men accused of killing and raping a 27-year-old woman are behind bars. The victim was a veterinarian. She left her office on Wednesday evening but never made it home.
She was on her way to see a doctor. She had parked her scooter near the plaza. On her way over there at around 9 o'clock, a stranger approached her to tell her that the scooter's tire was punctured. She called her sister, but after that, her mobile phone was turned off.
Police believe the suspect damaged the victim's tire beforehand, a plan, they say, to offer help and then attack her. Her charred body was found the next morning under a bridge.
Thousands of homes on the North Shore are about to spend a 6th night in the dark after a freak storm snapped poles and severed power lines. Crews will work through the night to restore power, but there's no guarantee of when the lights will come back on.
125 hours of darkness and still the power's out.
Complete blackness.
More than 3,000 homes and businesses remain without electricity 5 days after a freak snap storm ran riot on the upper North Shore. More than 700 crews out working in the dark to get the grid up and running once again. While power has been restored to more than 48,000 homes, for those left in the dark, there's still no indication of when the lights will be switched back on.
Here at home, hundreds of Alberta public sector workers are staging a protest not far from the annual meeting of Alberta's United Conservative Party. The rally, all in response to a warning from the provincial government. It says that thousands of jobs could be at risk of being cut from the public sector, many of them from Alberta Health Services, and the cuts would include hundreds of frontline nurses. The warning came in a letter to unions from the UCP government.